Hi 8.3 and 8.7, this is your second lesson on I am Malala. As we did yesterday, it will be the same structure. So hopefully you've logged on to the virtual lesson and now you're accessing this video to start the activities. So just a quick recap. Yesterday we started thinking about the etymology of the words autobiography and biography, and considering the importance of people's names and what names are. So we hear our name so frequently that we may not even pay it much attention at all. Often our names are heavily attached with our reputation, so we like to really feel that our name represents who we are. And we arrive at assumptions based on people's names before we even meet that person. So I know that my first name, when I was younger, I really didn't like it. I just felt like it was simple. I thought it was boring. And I thought people might think that about me when I was a child. My first name's Eve. So there's only 3 letters in Eve, E-V-E. There's only 2 different letters, E and V. And I just didn't feel that there was much to it. But actually, as a grown-up, as an adult, I actually really like my first name now. I like the fact it's simple. Yeah, I just feel that it's quite I don't know, something about it I quite like, whether it's because it's a little bit biblical or because it's just quite traditional. I don't know. There's something about my name that I like. So maybe that's something worth thinking about. Do you like your own name? And what assumptions do you think people might make about you because of your name? We may not like our name, or we may actually love it, but regardless, we can struggle to extricate or remove ourselves from our names. So once you have a name, it's quite hard to imagine yourself not having that name, I think. It's strange, before my daughter was born, we'd already decided that she was going to be called Teddy, or Theodora officially, but we all call her Teddy. And as soon as she was born, I remember sitting in the delivery suite with my husband saying, "She is going to be Teddy, isn't she?" And he was like, "Yeah, she is a Teddy, look at her, she's Teddy." So we'd already attributed her name to her before she was born, and we felt that as soon as she was born, she was that name. So it's quite strange how we really take ownership of names, sometimes before we've even met the person. We also looked at yesterday the etymology of autobiography. So auto meaning self, bio meaning life, and graphy meaning I write. So I write about my life. Hopefully you'll see on Teams that there is a link to quizzes, and this is a quiz with some questions on about the prologue and chapter 1, which you hopefully have listened to or read through as I instructed you to yesterday. So if you could have a quick look on Teams on our chat, click the link to the quiz and complete that quiz. This is going to act as your starter, and I'll be able to see the results as you go. Probably take you about 5 minutes to do this, so I'd pause the video and then come back. Okay, so you should have now completed that quiz and had some feedback with Miss, or me. I'm talking about myself as if I'm a different person. Your first main task is to then copy the etymology for the word name. So just copy these 3 bullet points. So the word name is a noun, and it's a word by which a person or thing is denoted. Name, reputation, is from a Proto-Germanic word. And the naman, which is an English, Old English term, has a pi root, so nomen or name. So it's got real deep roots. The actual word name is very deep rooted in our culture and the spoken word. Okay, so once you've completed that quick task, it should have only taken you a few minutes. We're going to have a go at a Freud model. So neatly in your book, can you draw out the Freud model as you see on the right hand side of this clip? So draw a circle in the centre of a page, or you could do half a page if you have the room or the space. And the word we're going to be looking at today is reputation. So put that word in the middle. and then draw your 4 lines that then break the remainder of your page into segments as we have here. Title them definitions, characteristics, examples and non-examples. This should take you about 10 minutes, and I would like you to have a think about or have a look up for a definition for the word reputation, and you'll pop it here. Any characteristics that we associate with that word, any examples that we could come up with of reputations, maybe example of a person, what their reputation might be, and any non-example. So what is not a reputation? What do we not associate with being involved in a reputation? So take 10 minutes, then when you finish let me know. We will discuss what you found. Okay, so we're now going to discuss what you've put in your Freud models and feedback some of the ideas that I came up with. So hopefully you've been doing that with Miss in your live lesson, or me again. If you haven't been able to attend that live lesson, just have a look through at these at the things I filled in the 4 squares, and just check that you have something similar. If not, you can copy what I put in these sections. Okay, so as a class now in the live lesson, I'd like you to discuss what Malala's reputation at the time of her being shot, or just before she was shot, was. So there's various elements of somebody's reputation. That's something they might have here, and I've circled some that I think are applicable to Malala. I want you to contribute why you think these might have been circled. So I've put that she was known as a person of great character, so I've circled character here. That she was an influencer, or she had great influence over people's thoughts and maybe their actions. That she had a deep sense of honour. That she was held in high esteem, so people thought highly of her, and what she believed in and what she was fighting for, and that she had a very important position within society in her local area at the time. So from our prologue and chapter 1, why do we think I selected those 5 characteristics that had a real influence over her reputation? We'll just discuss that. Now, it might be nice for you to just look through this. This is some quotes that we've got from teachers and what they say about their names and names in general. So just pause the video, have a read through these 4. They're quite interesting. Okay, and finally for task 3, I would like you to read through this extract here. And this is the extract from the prologue about Malala's birth and how she came about to have the name that she has. And once you've read that, I want you to answer these 4 questions, and it's basically what can we infer from that extract. So question 1 is to list 4 things we learn about Malala's birth and arrival. So make sure that we answer these questions in full sentences. Question 2, which character traits can you see that Malala's father has? Question 3, what type of father do you think he is, and how do we know this? And question 4, what makes this extract interesting? How has Malala structured the text to interest you as a reader? So for all 4 of these questions, I'd like you to include evidence or quotes from the extract which support your answers. And if you fancy an extra challenge, just in this yellow box here we have a kind of extension challenge task to think about the beginning of the extract, the end, and her choices of words, where those important words are found within the sentences and the sentence types, and maybe where do they then linked into how does she make the extract interesting. So questions 1 to 4, this will probably take you 20 minutes, maybe more, and then we'll feed back at the end of this lesson. Okay, now if you've completed all of those tasks and you fancy something extra to do, super challenge, there's an extension here which is just a 10-minute writing task. I'd like you to write between half a page or a whole page for this, please. I mean, it could be 10 to 20 minutes depending how much you write. So this is optional. I'd like you to write about these 6 bullet points. So, is your name traditional or modern? Does your name have a translation in other languages? Does anyone in your family share your name? Do you know any famous people with the same name as you? How do people in your country usually choose a child's name? And if you had to choose another name, what would you choose and why? So it's just a bit of creative writing around names, all that we've learnt and how you feel about your own name. So that's the lesson for today. As I've said, you should all have logged on to the virtual lesson and completed these tasks as we go. But if not, I hope there's enough information here for you to be able to complete them on your own. The virtual lessons are always recorded and are then posted automatically onto the Teams chat. So if you weren't able to access it at the time of the lesson, you can do so by going onto Teams and playing the recorded lesson there. I wish you the best of luck and take care.